What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is Season 6, Episode 18, and the episode is titled Melody vs. Marceau, Round 5. Now, y'all, I gotta say, this episode, it was a good episode, okay? And we're going to jump right into it. So we start this episode off very light, because we actually start this episode off with Tisha coming through the door, and they're presenting baby Ace. You have a pastor there. She says a few scriptures, and before they could actually show the baby off to everybody, baby Ace had to eat. So at this point, we jump back to see what all the girls are talking about. So as Tisha goes over to the other ladies, everybody speaks to her, okay? Mel, Nell, Kimmy. But Stormy was very quiet. So now Tisha is in her confessional like, oh my gosh, I don't know why Stormy is acting like this. Stormy is giving me the cold shoulder, even though we've already talked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah, because she's keeping you at a distance. Because of the foolishness and the stunt that you just pulled to try to take up for your man, she's not feeling you. And I can't lie, you guys, the first thing that I thought about was Melody. I'm just like, it's funny how Melody and Stormy have so many similarities. Because let me tell you something, when Melody don't mess with somebody, she gonna keep it cute, wave to you, say hi, but she is not about to be tight, close with you no more. And I'm seeing the same things in Stormy. So y'all, they all get their plates or whatever, and they're eating, and there's no conversation happening. Tisha is like, what is going on? Why is everybody so quiet? So now, Kimmy, she chimes in, and she's like, well, you know, we previously were talking about the Expo. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna stop calling it that, because I know in my last review, I only used the term Expo. We're gonna say the Expo now. But she's like, yeah, that's what we talked about. And how everybody kind of has some feedback. So maybe we could all come together and, you know, have feedback for how it actually played out, how it actually went. Did everybody like it or not? Oh, girl, let me tell you something. Little Miss Tisha is over it. She don't want y'all talking about the Expo no more, okay? She don't want y'all feedback. She don't want y'all saying nothing, okay? Because at the end of the day, Tisha is sick and tired of everybody coming to her and her man about this Expo. But I'm like, girl, you should have known that it was coming, especially because, baby, y'all played yourselves. Y'all should be called the scamming ass Scots, okay? After we done watched this episode. But let's get into it. Baby, Nell is ready. Nell is on go. Nell said, listen, you didn't even give us a personal invitation when y'all said that y'all would. And on top of that, I've been in business for 30 years. Now, Tisha is like, well, I posted it on social media. We don't need to rehash this. Yeah, if I was Nell, I probably would feel some type of way too. Because at the end of the day, even though the Scots are over here trying to pretend like they not really cool and they don't really know the Fletchers like that, you know them well enough for you to hit them and be like, hey y'all, this is what's going on. Especially considering you gave them that tired ass excuse that because they were friends with Melody and Martell, that you weren't going to invite them to begin with. Like, the more Letitia and Marceau talk, I realize that they keep digging themselves in a bigger hole. Oh, baby, Tisha is over it, y'all. Because she's like, oh, this is dead. It's dead. It's dead. Your opinion has been received. But it's clear that she don't want to hear it. And she's like, you know, I'm over it. That's what Tisha keeps saying. I'm over it. And Nell is like, okay, you can say that you're over it. But at the end of the day, that's still not, you know, she could not find the word, right? So Melody chimes in and says, like, it's disregarding. And basically that is true. Tisha, you are disregarding this woman's feelings. But baby, here comes Nell, because Nell came to play. She literally glances over at Nell, gives her a hand gesture, is like, I got this. And goes on to talk about how Tisha's energy is totally different than how she was when the couples met up for dinner, right? And the thing that got me, though, was the way Melody turned around in her chair, cracking up at the fact that Nell told her, oh, I got this. Y'all, so here comes caping Kimmy, right? Kimmy forever trying to cape for Tisha, and I want her to stop that shit. This entire situation, Kimmy has been trying to cape for Letitia every which way. Whether it be with Tiffany not being involved, whether it be Stormy having issues with Marceau, and now Kimmy's like, well, I'm the person who brought this up, and Tisha told her, well, girl, stop being messy. And I'm like, again, Kimmy, you gotta let this little phony friendship you got with Letitia go, because clearly she's saying that you're being messy, even though really you trying to help this girl save herself. Because I think that when it comes to Kimmy, she feels like, let's resolve it. No, somebody has to be taking something the wrong way. That wasn't anybody's intention. No, girl, these are Letitia's intentions. Let Letitia cook over there. If she burned, she just burned. Now, let me tell you what else had me cracking up, y'all. The fact that the only thing that was stopping Tiffany from carrying her ass over there to be nosy was the fact that she was feeding her child. Baby, if she could have sat little baby Ace to the side with a bottle, she absolutely would have, because y'all know Tiffany thrives off the mess. Now, y'all, here come clean up Kimmy, right? Because Tisha is like, if anybody else want to have a black Espo, they can have one. And Kimmy's like, why? That's not the answer. Kimmy, stop trying to clean up for Tisha. Stop trying to clean it up. So, y'all, then we get a little back and forth between Tisha and Nell again. And it's basically both of them agreeing. Well, not even agreeing. They kind of agreed to disagree that this situation is over. It is what it is. So Tiffany has missed all the drama. She tells the girls that they can go meet the baby, right? Now, she does talk to Tisha, and she's like, I didn't even know that you were going to come because you did not RSVP. And of course, according to Tisha, she forgot. Girl, you didn't forget. You did that on purpose. But nonetheless, all the ladies, they meet baby Ace, and I must say that little boy is so adorable. That is a cute little baby, okay? And Tiffany is like, I'm so glad all you guys came. I was just wondering where Kiki was. And here goes Kimmy. Wow, you invited Kiki? Now, here goes Tisha throwing digs at her cousin in a confessional, right? She's like, well, Kiki is always a no call, no show. So that's just who she is. I'm just like, oh, digs. All right. Clearly, your confessional is after y'all done had that fight, she threw that cup of whatever in your face. And I can't lie, I'm like, Tisha is quick to throw her cousin under the bus at any given chance at this point. But nonetheless, Tiffany wants to know, so what's been going on? What was y'all talking about earlier, right? And Mel is like, well, they were just talking about what happened at the expo or whatever. Oh, also, y'all, they did remove baby Ace from the situation. I think one of the grandmas came and got him. And I said, please do that, because these heifers about to, talk crazy like they always do. So Tiffany, she starts off by saying, well, I think that there should be another black expo. I can keep the front seat warm. I said, Tiffany, here comes the shade already. And for some reason, Kimmy thought that Tiffany would have changed by now just because she had a baby. Girl, Tiffany is going to be Tiffany at all times. Oh, y'all, we got to rehash the $100 story, because Mel wasn't there. However, Nell is like, what $100? What are y'all talking about? Because she wasn't there for the earlier conversation. And Tisha was not there either. So I'm just like, Tisha, they are digging into you left and right. So now she throws the question in the air like, so what happened with this $100? And then she's like, okay, well, Tisha ain't talking to me. Stormy, do you have a problem? Let me know what's going on with that $100. I said, wait a second. Nell came to play today. So for some reason, Stormy is like, Tisha, do you want to talk about it? And as Tisha is over there mumbling and grumbling, Nell straight up said, I'm talking to you, Stormy. I ain't talking to Tisha. So Queen of the Mess and Let's Keep It Going, aka Tiffany, said this is my time to shine. So she comes on in and she says, everything that happened with the $100. How Stormy got charged and how, she felt some type of way about it. Y'all, Tisha couldn't take the heat, so she got up or whatever and walked away. So Stormy, she decides to go and get Tisha because she walked away. And according to her, Tisha can't keep running away because she's getting feedback. Also, you wanted Tisha to get that heat. Let's be honest. You wanted Tisha to get that heat from everybody at this table. And that's okay, Stormy. So Tisha come back to the table, y'all. And now she's like, oh, so people did pay because when we was at dinner, you made it seem like nobody gave y'all a dime. And Tisha was like, oh, that's what was said? She's like, yeah, so you lied. Listen, Nell is eating her up left and right, y'all. I don't know what happened to Nell, because I feel like when we first met her, this is not the lady that we got. But baby girl said, y'all not about to play in my face and keep putting all these random people from Huntsville on this show and not give the Fletchers a shot because, baby, we are here. So here comes Tattletale Melody making matters even worse, talking about because earlier Kimmy said that Maurice paid too. I said, now Melody, why you sounding like a little kid telling on their brother or sister like they did such and such? You ain't right for that, Melody. So again, you guys, Tisha decides to dig a bigger hole for herself, saying that we never said that. We said that we didn't make money from the event. Girl, you said y'all didn't get no money. Y'all didn't have nobody put in. And at the end of the day, y'all did. Okay, it is what it is. And like Stormy said, y'all out here trying to be secretive about what's going on with this expo. And you really don't need to be. So here goes Tisha. She's ready to go. She don't want to have this conversation anymore because according to her, if anybody has ever thrown an event, then they would know how expensive it was. Not expensive, but expensive. I said, damn, Tisha, you just drop every X in every word. So now Tisha is out here getting emotional. Like I said, she ready to leave. And Kimmy, y'all already know she done put the cape back on. Captain Save Letitia is out here trying to make sure Tisha doesn't feel like she's being ganged up on. So Kimmy suggests that they have basically a meetup and let people express their concerns and give their corrective criticism. So Tisha says that she might be open to that later down the line, but she has to talk to her husband. Y'all, here comes Stormy out of nowhere, okay? She's like, I never had a problem with you. However, when we were at the actual expo, you were cool with me. You felt like Marceau was in the wrong. However, the next time that we met up, you tried to come at me about the way I talked to Marceau. And honestly, there ain't no other way to talk to Marceau because at the end of the day, he be acting like a little woman. Okay? He be acting like he be wearing heels and shit. Y'all, I was just like, yo, Tisha, she just said your man be acting like a woman. What are you going to do? Oh, y'all, don't worry, because Stormy decided to take it a little bit further. She goes on to tell Tisha how, Marceau gets into the mess and he be starting stuff between the women with Tisha. Oh, well, now we going to tag team to Melody because she said, you know what? I like how you're thinking because at the end of the day, he has done that between me and Tisha. Because now I'm hearing that, he has some things to say about me and my businesses. And now I'm looking at him sideways because when I see him, it's going to be a problem. But now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to move forward, trying to build a relationship with his wife because he keeps taking jabs. And honestly, you guys, I kind of believe what Melody is saying because at the end of the day, why is it that anytime you see there are some other successful women around your wife, you want to make sure that you keep a distance away from her and them? That's a serious problem. Now, y'all, here comes Story who decided to spin the block and come back, calling this man a woman. Talking about because I think he be acting like a woman. Like, he want to be a lady. Y'all, it's not funny, but it's just the fact that she is saying it directly to his wife. And I'm like, Tisha, you haven't slugged her yet? You haven't, pushed her down or something? Or at least say, girl, you're not about to be talking about my husband. You're not coming for mine like that. Because let me tell you something. If somebody wants to say anything about Courtney, you already know Stormy would be going off. All right, y'all, let's just go ahead and move on because I feel like we have been on that scene for forever. But we actually see Kimmy and Maurice, right? They go to their property where they are going to have their businesses. They're going to be moving their businesses over to this new building, but it is under construction. Oh, who's doing the construction, you guys? One of Maurice's random brothers by the name of Micah. So they don't think that he's going to get done on time. And honestly, I don't care nothing about that. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the conversation between Maurice and Kimmy. So Kimmy has to update her man on the shenanigans of the Scotts. Okay? The Scotts and their shenanigans, because at the end of the day, they told Nell one thing, but they did not invite her. You know what I'm saying? Then the money thing, like Kimmy said, it now has legs because this money thing, it is going every which way. You have some people saying how they have to pay $100 and they didn't even know initially that they would have to pay it. Then we've learned that there's also some vendors that did not pay anything. On top of that, during the meeting with the Fletchers, your brother came out of his mouth and said that this event was paid for by Letitia and Marceau, okay? There was nobody else putting in no money. This was all them. Yeah, your family out here scamming, baby. The scamming ass Scots. That's what we got to start calling them, y'all. And of course, you have Maurice who still wants to stick up for his brother. Like, well, I need to have a conversation with him. No, you need to just go ahead and learn from this that your brother be scamming. And he be scamming you as well. So Kimmy goes on to inform her husband that, listen, your brother has no filter, and at the end of the day, he has come at women multiple times, multiple different women in this cast, okay? And at the end of the day, he recently came at Mel talking about how she sells t-shirts, and Maurice decides to laugh at that as if that was a funny joke. And I'm just like, nothing about that is funny. Because you were the same guy who, seasons 1 through 4, you was out here wearing t-shirts talking about how you fix credit. So I'm going to need for you to please just go ahead and relax on that. Like, you need to take all your little giggles back, okay? And honestly, y'all, when it comes to Maurice and Marceau, of course, we have seen Maurice consistently have to take up for his brother Marceau. And I'm just like, but sir, when are you going to stand up on your own 2 feet and be like, you know what? He shouldn't have came from Mel's business because at the end of the day, she does other stuff as well. Like, could you be an adult, please? But y'all, let's just go ahead and move on. All right, y'all. So we actually slide on over to Nell and Mel, y'all. Now, let me tell you something. When they got to this little preschool that she have, this daycare, I said, now, wait a minute, because this is a full facility, okay? She has multiple rooms. The rooms is decorated nice, got all the colors that the kids can see. I said, come on through now. She said, let me show you what a 29-year-old business look like, okay? So, of course, they first start talking about, what they thought about Tiffany's event. Now, here goes Mel talking about oh, yeah, girl, I had a good time. The food was great. I was tearing that food up. Melody, she trying to get to the drama. But also, y'all, one thing about Melody, she loves food, okay? She loves to eat. But let's get to the drama because they talk about how, Nell was kind of feisty, and at the end of the day, she feels some type of way about Tisha, okay? And she's like, listen, you're not about to play in my face and act like you did not know that I had a business for all these years, especially considering my business is practically around the corner from yours. Now, y'all, this is what makes this even worse, okay? Again, because the Scotts keep digging themselves into a hole. We just learned that actually Marceau and Chris talked the day before the event. The day before. And he never even mentioned the expo. He never said, hey, so y'all coming out to the expo tomorrow, right? That was never said. So, y'all, I can't even lie. I completely understand why the Fletchers feel some type of way. Because it's like, Dad, you can call me, you can do all this other stuff. I can come to your establishments. But when y'all throwing something, you're not going to invite us? So I completely understand where the Fletchers are coming from. And then, of course, you have Mel chiming in like, listen, y'all have bought bottles of their champagne. You guys go to Black all the time. And come to find out, Chris goes there all the time. Like, this is like one of his spots to go to. However, Tisha had no knowledge of that. And Nell is questioning, like, baby girl, how do you own 85% of the business and you don't even know who your longtime clients are? Do you really own 85% of this business? So, y'all, they run a clip back to us where Letitia decided to be nosy and question the Fletchers like, oh, you guys share your business? What's the percentage of, like, how it's split? And they're like, it's 50-50. Like, what do you mean? What do you own, in your business? And she's like, oh, I own 85%. And baby, Nell ran her rights right then and there when she was like, you mean to tell me you own 85% of your business and you got kicked out of the office? How that make sense, girl? I said, Nell is eating Tisha up. Ooh-wee. So why we touch on that, y'all? Because here goes Mel. And listen, Mel knows her stuff. She's like, let me tell you how this really breaks down. It's the fact that when I was with Martell, we was getting government contracts, you know what I'm saying, to work on different constructions. And there are different fundings and all types of different opportunities when there are woman-owned businesses. And for that reason, the Scotts decided, oh, well, we're going to make sure that Tisha is the main shareholder of this business. That way we can say that it's woman owned and we can, get these benefits from this. Especially considering the government caught wind of what these husbands was doing, and that is why they made their wives take the higher percentage. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But I believe every word that Melody is saying. You cannot tell me that she's lying. That definitely sounds like that is what happened with the Scotts, because there's no way you're going to tell me that when we first met those people, this girl was just like Susie Homemaker. She didn't even have no job. You know what I'm saying? What she did, run a mommy blog or something. And now she's like, oh, I'm such a big boss, I run the company. Girl, do you? Because it don't seem like it, especially considering you had to go be at a coffee shop to pretend like you was working on something. And like Melody said, so you mean to tell me that Tisha owns 85% of this business and y'all just brought in a new partner recently? How much percentage did he own and how much do Marcel own? Because even if y'all split that and y'all both got 7.5% of a business, what was the point of you even bringing this man in? It really don't make no sense. So now Melody is in her bag, y'all, because she goes on to talk about how she does not think that they even raised that much money, at the expo when they ask people, to give the $100. Because at the end of the day, it sounds like they asked two people who are already on this show for the $100. And I'm just like, okay, so who else? How many more businesses did you ask? Because according to y'all, it was such an overflow of businesses that y'all had to turn people away the day of or whatever, because there were still people applying the night before that y'all let in. So did y'all charge those people $100? No? Yeah, at this point, I'm starting to think the only $100 that they got was from Maurice and Kimmy, and that was it. So Melody even brings up the fact that they wanted to raise money to build somebody else a house. I think they were trying to raise $150,000. And according to Melody, yeah, it's been up for a couple of weeks and they only raised a couple $100. Yeah, they don't really got it like that. They don't have the following like that. And people don't rock with the Scotts like that. Now, she was going to try to pull it up and show them now, but she's like, oh, well, I got them blocked, they got me blocked, and I'm not about to unblock them just so I can show you. So Nell is like, how are you going to try to be friends with Tisha if y'all got each other blocked? Y'all are not trying to be friends. Y'all are frenemies. I said, that's exactly right, Nell. That is exactly right. So Melody ends up questioning if Nell even wants to be friends with Tisha. And I think that Nell is cool where she is, okay? She can be cordial with Tisha, but I don't think she wants to be friends with her. Especially the way she done seen Tisha flip-flop left and right. You know what I'm saying? She act one way in front of her friends and then a different way when she with her husband. Yeah, it's a lot. Now, of course, Melody, she's like, listen, my issue ain't even really with Tisha. Like, that's some lightweight stuff. My issue is with her husband because he keep having something to say. Whether it be on Melody's business, personal life, any old thing, he always has something to say about Melody. Now, here comes Nell. She's like, well, you know what? You're on to something because this is the same man who said that he did not know what I did. He just thought that I was just Fletcher's pretty wife, okay? As if women can't have businesses, women can't thrive. It definitely seems like Marcel has an issue with women. I said, yeah, ding, ding, ding. And like Nell said, honestly, I don't see Tisha and Melody coming together, and having a friendship because Marcel is going to break that up real quick. Now, y'all, they actually gave us a flashback, okay, to the season, what was that, season 1? And Melody wanted to take, Tisha under her wing, get her introduced to the right people around the city, all of this stuff, y'all. We literally see her come over to the house, ready to pick Letitia up, and Marcel got an attitude with the fact that, oh, you're taking my wife away? Well, just know that we're not trying to be a power couple. I said, well, ain't that funny because you surely think that y'all are now. But nonetheless, he could not take it that Melody wanted to shake up Tisha's world and show her, girl, listen, it's a lot of opportunity out here for you. You do not need to be some little housewife. And once Marcel got wind of that, he broke their friendship up immediately. And like Melody said, if Tisha start hanging out with me and she, gets some strength, the same kind of strength that I got, yeah, she may possibly leave him. And he don't want that to happen. Of course not. Because who else wants to tolerate a man like Marcel? Like, let's be honest here. That man is a walking headache. Who wants to be belittled all the time and be treated unfairly, even though it's under the guise of, well, I'm your husband and I know what's best? Now, y'all, I cannot lie. After seeing that little clip from season 1, I low-key want to go back and watch season 1 and do some reviews. Y'all let me know if y'all gonna watch that. But y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Kiki. So Kiki is talking to her husband, and we learned that the reason why she wasn't able to go meet baby Ace was because she was not feeling well yet again. And according to her, she wanted to go. She's not hiding from anybody, and she just felt sick. Now, we do see that her husband vouches for her, and he's like, I know that it's not that you relapse because the way that you act, your whole demeanor changes. Basically saying that, listen, Kiki is not on drugs, y'all. I would know, I'm her husband, and this is something totally different. So they go further into the conversation about her not knowing what is going on. Now she has to go see 2 different specialists to see what is going on with her body. And her husband, he has a little inkling that it is probably the methadone that she has to take. And according to Kiki, her husband feels like he doesn't want her on any type of drugs, okay? He doesn't want her taking anything or at least being dependent on any type of drug because at the end of the day, he wants her to be drug free. Okay? We don't need you popping no pills. We don't need you on methadone. We just need Kiki to be drug free. Period. Now, one thing that I will say is that it seems like Kiki's husband, he don't play no games with her. Okay? He tell her how he feels, when he feels it, and if he has to call her out about something, he will definitely call her out. Because the way he just went in on her about the fact that she done ordered the whole damn Chinese restaurant and then had the audacity to be eating it at 10 p.m., that was a whole issue for him. Because according to him, he's like, you already have digestional issues. Why would you sit up here and order all that food, eat it super late at night, then go to sleep on it? Yeah, no wonder you waking up feeling terrible. Because let me tell you something. The worst thing you can do is eat a bunch of food and then go lay down. Ooh, absolutely not. But then we go on to her husband being like, listen, this is just too much. You got the Crime Stoppers, you got the methadone. It's too much going on. And according to Kiki, she feels like it's not her fault that all this is happening. And at the end of the day, she wants her husband to be nicer to her as well as not jump to conclusions. And he does apologize for that. Now, y'all, let's slide on over to Melody, okay? She's about to meet up with Marceau. And she's like, listen, I'm bringing a good energy. So this could go one or two ways depending on how he acts. And when he gets there, Mel is being extremely nice to this man. She's like, how's everything going or whatever. And according to him, he really likes Mel's energy, right? So we have Melody being completely honest here, saying, my energy wasn't always like this, okay? I actually had to think about what the lady who taught her about, etiquette? How would she want me to approach this conversation? And that was the road that I decided to take. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, y'all. So Melody tells him about the jabs that he decided to discuss with the Fletchers. And now Marceau is basically insinuating that Nell was embellishing on what was said. No. The only thing that Nell did was put Melody's name on it because we all knew who you were talking about. Now, as this man is up here talking about they basically got it misconstrued because the conversation was really about who wasn't going to get paid and what they were going to get paid for if they were to speak. And yeah, I'm not going to pay anybody to talk about their t-shirt business. And like Melody had to jump in and say, well, you know that I have way more than just a t-shirt business. So why are you out here throwing jabs? Now here he go trying to clarify. This wasn't jabs. I just threw my opinion out there and it just happened to affect you. Negro, stop playing. Stop playing right now because you knew exactly what you were doing. Like, let's not forget that y'all sat up there and also told Neil that the reason why y'all wasn't inviting her anywhere was because she's even friends with Melody. And there's a line there that you don't want to cross. Even though you are the same person who wanted Melody to come speak at your event for free. Like, Marceau, please stop playing with this lady. Then on top of that, you guys, he goes on to say how he doesn't value that business. Y'all, this man is so dumb that he is just going on and on about how he doesn't have a high opinion about like an e-commerce business. And Melody was like, well, aren't you trying to get into that business? How does that make sense? And he's still shooting himself in the foot saying, well, I don't have a high value of that. Do you hear how dumb you are? Let me tell you something. There are people who have little t-shirt businesses like he loves to throw out there, and they are making over $100K a year. Okay? And honestly, there are more businesses that are making even more than that who are selling products. So that is crazy to me that he is sitting in Melody's face and he is trying to act as if, that's such a low value thing. I said, oh yeah, now it makes so much sense. The reason why you feel some way about Nell having a daycare. I know you think that's low value. So at this point, Melody tells this man to stop playing with her because she knows that is exactly what he's doing. She can see right through Marceau. So Melody, she's like, listen, you intentionally tried to downplay what I do. And of course, he's like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's absolutely what happened. That is absolutely what happened. Because let's not forget, you are the same person who basically felt like the only people who should have even said something at your expo was yourself, your brother, and also Stormy. That was it. You didn't think that Martell had any value. Hell, you didn't really think that Letitia had any value, but that's your wife, so of course, I guess she could say something. And you had no mention of Kimmy either, because you saw no value in her as well. So there's clearly something that got into Melody's eye, right? So she's like wiping her lash, and he's like, don't cry, Melody, don't cry. I apologize. I'm so sorry, Mel. I said, now you want to throw out apologies? Really? But she looked at him like, Negro, are you serious? And she had to let him know, sir, ain't nobody crying over you. Then she hit him with even Tisha ain't gonna be crying about you when she leave your ass. I hollered. because honestly, nobody wants to see a couple break up, but I would not mind Tisha finding her own place in life and her own voice without Marcel. So Marcel is like, why would you say that? Why do you want Tisha to leave me? And Melody is like, listen, I feel like you be doing too much, way too much. And let me tell y'all one thing about Melody. She definitely stood on what she said. The same thing that she told Nell about, Tisha hanging out with her and finally wanting to get some independence and leave Marceau, who was extremely manipulative. She told that man that same thing. I said, oh, Melody is playing the game this season as well. Now, y'all, I kind of like the duo of Mel and Nell. Mel and Nell is on it this season, and I'm feeling it. Let me know what y'all thought about it, though. Like, do y'all like Mel and Nell tag teaming? You know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about Tiffany being nosy? Letitia trying to get away from a situation? What do y'all feel about Kimmy always trying to cape for the Scots? Y'all, just let's talk about this episode in the comments, y'all. It's a lot to talk about. Y'all, I absolutely love reviewing this episode. And hopefully this season keeps it coming with these good episodes. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel, y'all. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.